Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this TradeStation webinar. My name is Jesus Nava. I'm in the Client Training and Education Department here at TradeStation, and it is a pleasure to be doing this topic for all of you. Today, we're going to talk about placing OCOs and OSOs on TradeStation. It seems like it's a complex topic, but it's not. And I'm going to show you some of the basic things you can do on TradeStation to send these orders all together at once to put in trades that you can just set them and leave them play out the way that you planned them. But before we get started, here's some important information to disclose. And before we go to the disclosures, thank you everyone for taking the time out of your schedules to come here and learn a little bit about TradeStation. I'll do my best to answer the questions that are coming through. And if I don't get to your question, we do have the TradeStation channels that are on You Can Trade that you can go to and join me in one of my classes so you can continue learning. Let me go ahead and switch to my PowerPoint presentation. The title of this presentation is Placing Advanced OCO and OSO Orders in TradeStation. And I don't like using the word advanced because it sounds like you're still not ready for it if you're just getting started with TradeStation, but it's not that complex. I'm going to make sure that it is simple, that you can follow my steps, and you can do some simple setups on your TradeStation so that you don't have to manually manage a trade. Before we get started, I did say that we have to go over some disclosures, so here they are. The following presentation is for educational purposes only. So if I say a symbol or if I talk about an idea, this is not a recommendation of TradeStation. It's all done for educational purposes. Also, active trading is not suitable for everyone. So everyone that's connected here should be aware of those risks. And if you'd like to read more about these disclosures, please visit our website, tradestation.com, and you'll find all the disclosure information at the bottom of the page. Keep that in mind. I also want to talk about our Getting Started channel that is available on the You Can Trade website. And it is a new educational platform, is an affiliate of TradeStation. And TradeStation is hosting two channels in there. They're educational in nature. One of these channels is Getting Started with TradeStation, which is completely free. We do classes every other day on all the TradeStation platforms that you can use. So if you're using the TradeStation desktop, if you're using the web trading platform, or if you're using our mobile apps, I invite everyone that's here to join me in the Getting Started channel. And all you need to do is go to youcantrade.com, go to channels, and you'll find this channel in there. We do classes every other day. We also have a Next Level Up educational channel hosted by TradeStation titled TradeStation Masterclass. So if you're ready to take your use of TradeStation to the next level, this would be the channel to sign up for. It's $59 a month with a 14-day free trial. So if you want to, try it out, check the content out, you're welcome to do so. So make sure to visit youcantrade.com and check out the TradeStation channels in there. All right. Let me switch over here to my TradeStation platform. So let's get to it. Let's get to the topic of today's presentation, which is how to create these OCOs and OSO orders. What is an OCO or an OSO? A lot of times we hear that term and we wind up, asking ourselves what it is. And I know a lot of trading platforms out there may refer to the functionality with a different name. OCO stands for Order Cancels Order. In other platforms, you may find them as one cancels the other, OCO. But on TradeStation, we call them Order Cancels Order. And what it is technically is just one order that is tied in with another. If one side gets filled, the other side gets canceled. That's the nature of the OCO. An OSO is an order sends order, or how other platforms may refer to it as an order or one sends the other. OSO. And technically what it means is that you have one order that has a conditional order that is only sent to the market if this primary order is executed. That's the nature of an OSO. We're going to take a look at that functionality right here on TradeStation. We're going to use different order entry tools so that we can satisfy everyone's curiosity when it comes to how do you do this on chart? How do you do this on the matrix? So we'll use multiple order entry tools just to make sure that everyone knows exactly where to go to create these types of orders. The title said that they're advanced. They're not difficult though. Everyone here is going to be able to follow my guidance. So let me go ahead and show you my TradeStation. Over here, I'm going to switch to my matrix and I'm going to change the symbol to something that I haven't traded today and something that at least is trading at this time. The markets are closed. So let me go ahead and bring up a futures symbol, ESM20. By the way, I am using a futures contract. It doesn't matter if you're a futures trader, if you're a stock trader, or if you're an options trader, the functionality is there for all the different asset classes that TradeStation supports. So if I use a futures contract as an example, do not feel that you're left out. Do not feel that you cannot do this because the same feature that I'm going to use here for futures is available for stocks as well, okay? We know that on the matrix, we can click on the blue column if we want to buy something. We click on the red column if we want to sell something. And what a lot of us want to do when we submit trades into the market is to do it all at once. So you don't have to be concerned about, I don't have a stop order, I don't have a target stop, a profit target. I want to be able to submit a trade that has everything included. So I don't have to come back and do all those calculations manually or have to be, glued to the computer screen, seeing what my position is doing and trying to manage it manually, okay? The first thing that I'm going to show you, or the first example, is how to attach a stop loss to every single trade that you submit in your account. The first thing you need to do is look over here on the right-hand side of the matrix. This is called the trade bar, the section that has all the buttons and the boxes where you can switch the quantity, change the order type. We are going to use that to access the OCOs and OSOs. And by the way, if you're asking yourself, where did I get this window? Where did I get this application that I'm using? Is right here in the apps menu of TradeStation, and it's called the Matrix. Matrix is one of the most efficient tools inside of TradeStation because it allows you to do order entry with one click of the mouse. So I'm going to go over here to the right side, and I'm going to check this box that says attach an OSO. OSO, as we said at the beginning of the presentation, is an order sends order. And what we want to do here is we want to buy something. This is going to be my example. I want to buy a contract of the S&P E-mini, but at the same time, I want that buy order to have a stop already in place. I don't want to have to worry about, submitting my stop every single time I have a position on. So what I do is I put a check here on attach OSO, and I select what type of exit I want. Notice that there's a drop down. I can select anything from here. I'm going to choose one simple one, which is at the very bottom, exit stop only. So if you want a trade that always has a stop, all you need to do is keep that checkbox checked. Every time that I put in a trade right here in my matrix, it'll have the stop attached. So I selected the exit stop only. And notice that over here on the right-hand side, there's an ellipsis that allows me to access the configuration of this OSO. Let me open up my columns here so you can see the text completely. Notice at the very beginning, it says it's a stop market order. It's going to be opposite of primary. Opposite of primary, for those that are asking, just means that it'll take the opposite trade of your open position. So if you're long, it'll sell it. And if you're short, it'll buy it or buy the cover, to exit the position. That's what opposite of primary means. The quantity is 100% of my position. And here's the price offset. So somebody asked about percentages, and it would be great to have a percentage here. I agree. But right now, we just have an offset based on, in this case, tick movement of the S&P E-mini. The default value right here is 10. So it's looking for 10 ticks, up or down, depending on what you're going to trade. Since I'm going to do a buy trade, this is going to attach a stop 10 ticks below. Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to just click OK. And as I said earlier, I'm going to just hover over the blue. Let's say that I want to buy the contract at 28.43. We see the price right there on the matrix. I click, the order goes through, and take a look. I'm not sure if you see that. Let me scroll down a little bit. But do you guys see that dark box that shows up right there that says SS01? That's my stop. But notice that I just clicked on the matrix once. I just clicked on the buy order over here at 28.43. But since I had that checkbox checked on the right-hand side, it attached a stop on my order. How far away? Well, 10 ticks if you count. From my entry all the way down here, there's going to be 10 rows because that's exactly what I specified for my stop. And by the way, if you've used the matrix before, you know that you can click and drag these orders. Makes it very simple for you to manage your trades here using that click and dragging functionality. So give that a try on your TradeStation. It's very simple to do. If I change my mind and I want to change, the offset here, I just click on my stop, drag it down, and notice how the order gets adjusted. If I adjust my entry and move it, not only will it adjust the entry, it'll also affect my stop because the stop is attached to it. So if you make changes to the primary, it also changes the secondary. If I cancel my primary order, the secondary order also goes away. All right, let's see. If you're trading 2 or more contracts, this is a question from Andres, and you want to have a stop on 2 targets. Is it possible to have to stop move automatically to entry when the first target's hit? Andres, what you're describing is a little bit more complex. And so that everybody understands what Andres is talking about, he's talking about the ability of having a fixed stop, but when it reaches a certain target, he wants that stop to be moved to maybe a break-even level. That is possible, but it takes, you need custom OCOs, a little bit more complex than just the templates that we have available here, but it is possible. If you want to join me in the TradeStation Masterclass, that's some of the topics that I cover there so that we can all show you how to create those custom orders, okay? So let's go ahead and work with another example and show you what else is possible here with OCO. Let's describe this example. Let's suppose that we want to trade the S&P again, but at the same time, we want to have a profit target and a stop loss associated with our entry. So not only a stop like we did previously, we want 2 exits. One that is going to close our position if it goes in our favor, and another one that is going to close our position if it goes against us. That's very simply done, again, with this checkbox that says attach an OSO. In the dropdown, as I said earlier, you have multiple exits. One of them is a bracket. The very top one is an exit bracket, 1L, 1S. Do not let this dialog confuse you. I know there's a lot of abbreviations and a lot of things going on here, but it's just variations of the exact same thing. When I select this very top one, which is exit bracket, 1 limit and 1 stop, basically what it's saying is that you'll have 1 target, 1 profit target, and 1 stop loss. That's what the 1L and the 1S mean. If you are into scaling out of your position, let's say that you have 1,000 shares, and at the first target, you want to exit 25% of that, or 250 shares, first target. And then you have a second target where you want to exit maybe 500, and then you have a third target for the remaining 250. So if you are the type of trader that likes to scale out of positions, we have all these other variations of the bracket with multiple targets and multiple stops. So when you see something like 2L and 1S, what that means is that you'll have 2 targets at different levels, and then you have 1 single stop. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to show you one. The rest are pretty much the same. I'm going to select the exit bracket, 1 limit, 1 stop. The bracket changes. I'm going to click on the ellipsis here. Again, we see similar information. First of all, we see the type of order. Now we see 2 orders there, though. These 2 orders are connected in an OCO. An OCO, as we said at the beginning of the class, is an order cancels order. So if any one side of this bracket gets executed, the other side gets canceled. So I have my position on the S&P E-mini. If it goes in my favor and it reaches my profit target, it closes my position, and then my stop gets canceled. That's the beauty of an OCO, that it'll just cancel the other order that's remaining so that you don't have any orders left remaining in the market. I'm going to use the default settings here, the default offsets. I just wanted to point out where the functionality is and how to access it. Here, my offset is 10 for both my profit target and my stop loss. And I want them to be a little bit tight like they are right now so that you can see all the orders on the screen. I don't have to scroll up and down to find them. I'm going to click OK here, and I'm going to buy again the S&P E-mini. This time, I'm going to submit my order at 28.42. So I'm going to buy at this price, and there we go. I want you guys to take a look at what happened here, because I clicked once, but I got 3 separate orders. I have my buy order at 28.42. I have my profit target up here at 28.44. And I have my stop over here at 28.39.50. So it automatically sets those orders. They are going to be queued and executed when my primary order gets filled. Let me take a look at some questions here as we go along. If you are looking for trailing stops, this is a good question. If you're looking for a trailing stop, let's say, for example, that instead of having that stop here at the bottom be a fixed stop, we wanted that stop to be a trailing stop. Let me show you how that's done. I'm going to cancel the primary here because you have to do one extra step. You click over here on the ellipsis on the right-hand side, and you highlight the stop. Let me open this up so you know exactly that I'm clicking. You click on the stop market, and on the far right, I know it's hard to see right here on the screen, but once you get in front of your TradeStation platforms, there's going to be a button here on the far right with 3 dots, which gives you access to advanced settings. Let me see if that clicks on for me. It's so small that sometimes it doesn't see my click. So hold on. So I'm clicking here and it doesn't seem to be responding for me. Okay, maybe the fact that I'm also broadcasting or sharing my screen has a direct effect on how this is responding. But if you're looking for a trailing stop, that's the button that you have to click on. It'll give you a pop-up window where you set the specifications of your trailing stop, okay? Specific prices can be set right up here. Let me show you where that is. If you're interested in entering prices instead of just an offset, you can do that right here. Let me go here to my trade bar. Notice that you have a button here for OCO OSOs. The menu, instead of using abbreviations, is kind of spelled out. For example, here I can say I want an entry and a single order long with a bracket. Same type of order that we did on the matrix, but we're accessing this order from the trade bar. When I do that, it opens up this dialog with this setup. Notice how we have the primary at the top, and you can specify the prices here. So let me show you an example. Let's suppose that I enter my buy order at 28. What is the S&P trading at? 28.44. So let's say that I do 28.40 for my entry. Then where it says offset, let me open this up. Instead of using this 10, I can set a custom price, and I can say if it goes up to 28.46, let's say, I want to get out. And for my stop, if it goes down to 28.35, then I want to be stopped. Oh, here, if you do it this way, you also have access to your trailing stop information down here. So if I send these orders, here they are. We have my entry at 28.40. I have my target at 28.46. And if I scroll down, I have my stop at 28.35, which are the prices that I specified. So you can do it, different ways. If you like the offsets, you can do it through the menus here on the matrix. But if you want to really specify your entry And your exit prices, you can do it from the trade bar up here. Let me open up or enter a position here for the S&P E-mini. I'm going to buy it at market.
Order filled.
Take a look at what happened. I entered a trade. In this case, I used the buy market button here on the matrix. It got me into the position, but take a look at what happened. It's very interesting. Since I had the checkbox attach OSO, it automatically sent those orders for me. Now, I think the market just closed for the S&P E-mini because my 2 orders expired. But just remind yourself that if you're using the attach OSO and you are already done with it and you don't need any other attachments, remember to uncheck it so that it doesn't catch you by surprise. Because next time you may be using the matrix, and if that checkbox is checked, it's going to automatically attach those orders for you, okay? When you have a position already open, like in this example, I have my position on the S&P 500, and you want to set a bracket, you're not going to use the attach OSO checkbox on the right-hand side. You're going to be using the place OCO order down below. So what I do is, since it's grayed out at the moment, I'm going to come up here and change the duration to GTC. Once you change it to GTC, the buttons are available for you, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at the drop down right here, because notice that you have similar templates that you have on the top drop down. And I'm going to do an exit bracket again as well. So the functionality is the same. It's just that at the top, you have the ability to attach your brackets to a primary order when you buy something or sell short something. But if you already have a position, you can still use these brackets. You just have to use the functionality down below that says place OCO order. So when I place that OCO order, it's going to ask me or confirm that I'm placing a GTC trade. I say yes, and you can see the 2 orders right there. They're just queued, and they're waiting for the market to open. But this is how you would do it if a position is already open. I see a comment here about the 2 limit 1 stop not working. Let's take a look. Let me cancel all my offers. Let me go to Microsoft. I have a position here on Microsoft. Let me show you a trick right here on the matrix. If you're using the matrix and you load up a symbol like Microsoft that is trading at $173 as we speak, and you want to, squeeze the scale a little bit, because maybe if you're trading something that is worth $173, the penny movement is not as relevant as it would be on something that is of a lesser value, like for example, Bank of America trading in the 20s. This is trading at 173, and sometimes in a fast-moving market, the matrix may jump up and down, not allowing you to visualize what's happening. So this is what I do. When I load up something that has a very high price like this one, I come over here and I adjust the axis increment. Axis increment controls the way that the prices are displayed right here in the matrix. So I click in there and I type in, let's say that I'm going to use a quarter, 0.25. So notice how the axis increment, I changed it to 25 cents, and take a look. Now I'm able to see a little bit better the matrix, because now I don't see every single penny. I see the prices in the increments of 25 cents. All right. So I have 100 shares of Microsoft. I wanted something that had a little bit more. Let me see, AMAT. Okay, AMAT. Let's go to AMAT. AMAT, I'm short, but I have 500 shares. So this is AMAT. Let me change the axis increment here to 5 cents. All right. It's a short trade, and I already have a position open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a GTC down here where it says place OCO order. I'm going to go to a 2L1S. 2L1S, for those that are asking, is the type of trade where you have 2 different profit targets. You have one profit target that's kind of conservative, that you're probably going to hit very quickly, but you're not going to exit out of the whole position. It's a conservative target. you hit it, and you probably exit half or a third or a quarter of your position and let the other remaining position work out maybe until it reaches another target. So that's exactly what this 2L 1S means. I'm going to click on the ellipsis, and let's take a look at how far out there are. So the targets, let's say that I want to do 25 cents for one, and I want to do 50 cents for the other. And my stop is going to be set at 50 cents. All right, let's go ahead and click OK. And all I have to do is click on the place OCO order. I get my confirmation window. I say yes, and here they are. We have my stop over here. Notice that when you send these exit brackets, and that's something that you also have to remind yourself of, when you submit a bracket after the fact, after having a position open, you have to remember that the offsets are calculated based on the current or the last traded price. So the last traded price of AMAT was $52.55. And that's why my stop was set at $53.05, because that's 50 cents away. But notice that I have my two targets here, and take a look at the quantity. One is for 250 and the other is for 250. That makes a total of 500. Is it possible to get rid of the open P&L on the left? So if you want to remove any of these columns, you can go to settings and go to columns of the detail pane. When I went over here to the trade bar and I went to OCO and OSO, I had to specify the symbol. What you can do, if you come over here and you create one, right here at the top, you can name it, and you can provide these templates a specific name that is symbol specific. All these templates have a symbol associated with it, but you can have multiple types of orders. And rather than sending them, there's a button here that says stage. For those of you that want to create these orders and save them for later, the stage allows you to do that. It'll send them to the stage tab of the trade manager. You also can access them here in the trade bar. Notice that there's a stage button. You'll find all your staged orders here, or you can go at the very bottom of this dialog to display all staged orders, which will take you to the trade manager. Let's go ahead and take a look at my chart trading, because the same functionality that you find on the matrix can also be accessible right here in chart trading. And I'm going to show you one simple example that you can use at any time. Let me go to gold here for a moment. GC June is the contract, so GCM20. All right. Okay, so this is gold for June 2020. A lot of times when you talk about OCOs and OSOs, we think about, a target, a stop, just to exit your position. But what about entering the market? Well, I'm going to go to my drawing tool and draw some horizontal lines. I'm going to draw a horizontal line right here, drawing horizontal line right here, and I put it right down here. So what I just did is I selected two levels, right here where I have two tops, and right here where I have two bottoms. So I created this channel. What if I'm monitoring these two levels? The top level has been tested twice, and the bottom level has also been tested twice. I'm looking for a breakout on those two levels, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen on the upside or the downside. But at the same time, I want to be ready for both situations. If it comes up here and it breaks that resistance level, I want to get in. But if it comes down and breaks the support level, I want to get in as well. I want to get in with a long trade up here, thinking that the price will continue to go up. And I want to get short here at the bottom, thinking that the price will continue to go down. How do I do that without having to keep an eye on gold? Well, you can use an OCO for that, but not an OCO as the ones that we've talked about, which are used for exiting the market. We're going to use an OCO to enter the market. Now, those are the levels that I've specified. I'm going to come over here to the right side, in the drop down for OCO, you're going to notice that at the top, there are some entry templates. I'm going to use one just as an example, but you can take a look at the other ones. They are very interesting. In fact, anybody that is interested in learning more about this, we have great documentation on the TradeStation platform. All you need to do is go to help, get help, and go to platform trading. If you go there, you'll access the TradeStation documentation on all these templates, and it'll explain how they're built, how you can set them up. Great information up there. And if you still need help, come over to the TradeStation channels, Getting Started, and the masterclass, and we'll help you build those orders there. Let's go ahead and do something here. I'm going to go to the drop down. I'm going to choose one that says entry breakout. What it does is going to enter on a breakout. You do have to tell it where those breakouts are. This support level, actually the resistance level, 1770, which is about, 15 points higher. The support level was about 1750, which is about 5. So I'm doing this in my head because when I go over to the settings of the OCO, I'm going to have to supply a value for the offset. And I know that this is 25 points here, and this is 5 points on the way down. Actually, no, 15. We said 15 and 5. Let's go ahead and click on the ellipses on the right. All right, and we see our two orders. Take a look at the two orders. They're both stops, but they're both entry. One is a buy and the other is a sell. And in this case, we have a price offset of 10. What is the minimum tick for this futures? I believe is it a 0.1? Is that the minimum price movement of gold? I just want to make sure that I'm using the right. Yes, 0.01 movement is. So when I go over here to the settings, and I'm looking at the price offset, this 10 right here is not 10 whole points. It's 10 minimum movements. So in this case, I'm doing 1 point on either side, which is not what I want. For the buy, I want it to be 150. Why? Because if there are 10 minimum increments per point, and I want 15 whole points, that's 150 minimum movements. And for the stop, it's going to be 50 because I want 5 whole points or 50 minimum increments. Let's see how that looks. Once I place the OCO order, but before I even place it, I have to change the duration to GTC. I place the OCO order, I say yes, and the orders are in. Take a look at where the orders fell. I'm going to remove the horizontal lines so you can see them. Okay, and let me push this chart over here to the left so you can see where the two orders are. The blue one, 1770.6, 1750.6. You can always adjust those two orders to be at exactly the place you want, but that was a pretty good estimate, if I may say so. So you can see how the two orders are there and they're waiting for the price action to hit them. If it goes to the upside, I'm going to be long 1 contract of gold. If it goes down, I'm going to be short 1 contract of gold because that's what my order said. Now I can add brackets to those orders because one thing we did is we created an OCO. This is the one you're looking at right now, but this is just to enter the market. Once we're in, we don't have anything protecting us. So let me go ahead and cancel those two orders. And before I click on the place OCO order, I'm going to attach. I'm going to use a combination of OCO with OSO. Here, I'm going to set my distance. Let me open this up again a little bit so we can see the information in all the columns. And my quantity right here says it's 100. But my offset, let me set it to 50 on either side, which is 5 points. 50 and 50. And click OK. Now, if I click on the place OCO order here, take a look at what happens. And notice how interesting this is, because I'm just going to click on that button once, and you're going to see how many orders are submitted to the market. I'm going to click on place OCO order, say yes, and there we go. How many orders is that? That's a total of 6 different orders that are all interconnected. We have the 2 primary orders, the one that is going to take us long, or the one that is going to take us short. And each one of those entry orders has its own bracket attached to them. So whichever side gets hit first, either the breakout on the resistance or the breakout on the support, you are already bracketed with a profit target and a stop loss. We have not analyzed the markets to know exactly how far our targets and our stops should be, because that's not the purpose of this class. The purpose is to show you that the functionality is there for you to be more efficient in your trading and be able to send all these orders together and not have to struggle once you have a position open to submit a stop or a target, because you have thought your trade over and over. You know what your plan is, and your platform should allow you to put in that trade into the market so that you can just set it and leave it. That's the whole purpose of this technology and the trades that I've been showing you in this class. I'm going to open up the floor for last minute questions. Let's see if we have any. I see a question from Joel. He says, what does entry fade mean? Right here in the drop down, you probably saw the entry fade. Entry fade, what that means is instead of breaking, it's going to do the opposite. It's going to continue trading within the range, and it's going to bounce back and forth inside the channel. So rather than going long when it hits resistance or the top level, it's going to go short because it thinks that it's going to bounce and go back in the opposite direction. Okay, so that's what fade means. I see a question from Armando that says, can you customize the trailing stop to be a percentage of the 10-day ATR? Can you show it? Not in this class, but to answer your question, yes, it is possible. All those sorts of calculations can be performed on Tradestation, and Tradestation can do a calculation on the ATR, a percentage of that, and apply it to an order. That's using a strategy. So yes, definitely. Is it possible to use OSO with hotkeys? But what about through macros? In chart trading, there is a new technology over here called keyboard trading. Take a look at that. There is some OSO functionality in there. And I do have a class already archived in the Tradestation Masterclass that provides you information about how to use that technology. Everyone here in this class has a very specific way of trading, and you've developed that style over years. And sometimes there's a very specific type of order that you want your Tradestation to do. We may not be able to cover every single type of order in a video. However, in the Tradestation Masterclass channel, we do 2 sessions a week that we title Ask the Experts. And I sit with everyone that joins the class to work on specific examples. So if there's something specific that you want to work on and you want Tradestation to do for you, yes, you can have somebody sit with you in class and maybe work it out and show you how to do it. But if it does require a little bit of additional programming, we're just going to direct you to a programmer that can, create that for you. But for the most part, every single type of order and every single setup can be created in Tradestation. These buttons right here, yeah, I think what the question is about the percentage and the point amount here above the place OCO order. These boxes here refer to the trailing buttons right above them. So you have a buy trail and a sell trail, and you can set the amount either on a dollar or a percentage. So you can do points or percentage, but that's for trailing stops. For Tradestation 9.5, the functionality is exactly the same. Everything that I just showed you on the matrix and in chart trading is available on both versions of Tradestation. This is a question from Isabel. At the moment, we're not doing any physical masterclasses. So all the masterclass content that we used to have in a physical location is being delivered online. So you do have the same benefit of being exposed to the same content, maybe not the benefit of interacting with other Tradestation users, which is an added benefit of having a physical masterclass. But here's a masterclass that you can enjoy from the comfort of your home, and we can meet online to do the same classes that we do in the physical masterclass. So hopefully you can join us there. Thank you for spending this time with me. I know that everybody has a busy schedule. Most of you are staying home. We're doing the same here in TradeStation. So it's always great to be able to connect with people all over the world. I want to encourage everyone to, again, visit our channels and You Can Trade. And we're here to help you out and help you find where the resources are. And if there's a technology or a feature that you don't understand fully, we can direct you and help you apply that technology in the easiest way possible. But again, thank you for spending this time with me. I hope to see you in a future event, and come and check our content out at You Can Trade. Thank you. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.